Two. Hi there and welcome to Empowered Mums. I'm Melissa Groom, your host for today, and I'm so delighted to have Angi King here with me. Hi Angi.
Hi Mel. I'm so excited to be here.
It's great to have you here on the show. Now, I'm so excited to share with everyone what Angi does, because Angi King is a Louise Hay facilitator and has been helping transform people's lives for over a decade. And I've personally worked with Angi. That's why I've got her here on the show. And I want everybody out there, wherever you are around the world, to be able to access and work with Angi, which is very exciting now that she's got her program up and running online. So that is very exciting, Angi.
It is exciting. I'm really excited to be talking to you too. Yeah, so great to be able to work with Angi.
Yeah, tell us if you can, like, what led you to this Louise Hay work?
Well, I grew up in a household that was very positive. I grew up in a household where I was taught about thinking positively. At 13, I was reading books by Catherine Ponder and transformational leaders. And my parents taught me about the power of the mind. And I realized of a little situation where I remember having a girlfriend over and she had acne. And I remember using her towel one day. And she said to me, "Oh my God, you're going to get acne. You've used my towel." And because the next day I got acne. And I was like, "Oh my goodness." And then all of a sudden, one day I went, "I'm not having acne anymore." And it went away. And that really, I really realized the power of the mind, and how if we change our thoughts to think positively and to think about what we want, how it can really change our lives. So that was the start of it all. And then I came across Louise Hay. And of course, that's the whole point of her work, is to change people's lives by changing the way they think and by thinking positively. And Louise has been such an inspiration, and she does transform so many people all over the world. She's just amazing.
Yeah. So her work is all about self-love, isn't it? And which is so important. We can have all of the skills, and we're not our own best friend, then things aren't really going to flow, are they? So share with us, how does loving ourselves attract more abundance?
Yeah, abundance is interesting. Abundance doesn't mean just financial success. Abundance is in all areas. So we can have abundance in our relationships, health, vitality, wealth. It's across all levels. And what happens is that we all vibrate at a particular level. So everybody is vibrating at a particular level. And what happens is that like attracts like, and we then attract the level that we're vibrating at. So as we love ourselves more, what actually happens is that our vibration level increases, therefore we attract a different vibration. And so, I've seen where people have, for example, had bad relationships, for example, and as soon as they work on themselves and love themselves more, the people that were at that other level no longer attracted to them, because they now are attracting men on a different level. The same as financially, once we love ourselves more, we lift our vibration and we attract more. We attract more abundance, more financial success, more opportunities, a better health. So as we love ourselves more, it just completely changes everything.
Why do you think, Angi, we are so hard on ourselves?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I think a lot of it comes from our beliefs that we learn from other people around us. And so as a young child, if other people around us were hard on themselves and hard on us, that's what we pick up. So yeah, that's what I think it is. It's all to do with our belief systems. And so by changing those beliefs and actually nurturing and loving ourselves, then everything changes. A good example is if you're taking a dish out of the dishwasher and you drop it, what do you say to yourself? How do you treat yourself? And usually you say something negative like, oh my gosh, you silly thing, you shouldn't have done that, oh my, But if a child does that and they drop it, what do you say to them? And you usually say something like, it's okay, it's only a plate, it doesn't matter, it's all good. So why do we treat ourselves differently to that child? And we should treat ourselves like we treat that child. We should nurture ourselves and be kind to ourselves, because really we're our own best friend.
Yes, so it can be outside influences that have formed our beliefs, and it can also be our own expectations that we put on ourselves as well, that we should be this and we should be doing that and we should be at this level by this time, and just putting that pressure on ourselves.
Yeah, and the thing is that most of our beliefs were formed before we were 7. So we don't even know really what those beliefs are. And the scary thing is that we actually make decisions based on those beliefs. And like you said, we pick them up from all sorts of places. And that's what we need to identify and remove, because they don't serve. They don't serve you anymore. Things that you picked up when you were 5. So we need to, release it and just change them to beliefs that now work.
I was actually gifted the Heal Your Life book when I was in my early 20s by my children's grandmother, and I think at the time I loved the book and I loved the concept, and I read little parts of it, but I wasn't obviously ready for it, because it wasn't until my mid-40s that I met you, Angi, and saw you at an expo, and you talked about your course, How You Can Heal Your Life. And wasn't until I went along to the course and I had a facilitator to help me work through the book and the program, and then implement the changes that I needed to change in order to create more abundance, more self-love, and all the things that I wanted to attract in my life. So you can read the book. It's like a lot of things. You read the book, but you never actually having someone like you results. So can you share with us one of your client success stories?
Absolutely. One of my clients came to me, there's a number of years ago now, and she had all sorts of trauma in her life. She had businesses fail, she had robbery, she had illnesses. She ended up having a lot of trauma, like as in because of what had happened to her. She was having some psychological trauma as well. And so she came to me and we worked through this particular program. And the thing about the program is that because it is over 10 weeks, it actually does change lives. It's because you are implementing, you're doing work every week. You have to keep working. And so she was going through all of that work. And now she actually is a prominent person in the city that we were in. She's actually doing amazing things. She has business. She's out publicly speaking. She has just completely transformed the way that she was. And it's all because she learned to love herself. She learned to release all those, the past, the things that happened, to forgiveness, and to just get rid of the baggage, And so, she just completely changed, and has attracted a lot of abundance because of that. She's very prominent in the town now that we were in. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, one of the things that really attracted me to your program is really learning that our emotions actually cause disease.
Yeah.
And I am such an advocate. It's your thoughts that are, negative, or whether you're, feeding yourself junk food or you're not exercising. But at the same time, I understand that all those negative thoughts and feelings of stored hurt and anger and frustration is what actually causes all the disease. And, you've got two choices, haven't you? There'll always be the people who believe go to the doctor and get the medication. And look, I'm a big advocate. If you need medical help, then sure, go and see the doctor. But always think about really what is going on in your body and what is the source of that pain. And I remember reading part of Louise Hay's book, and she was talking about, okay, it's only a headache, but she was actually saying when she has a headache, she just sends that headache love, or a little part in her body where she's got pain, she'll send that love. So I've even tried that myself with headaches, and it actually does work. Your work is so important, Angie, because, you know, I just am a big believer that dis-ease causes disease, and that's why we need to reach out and help as many people as we can around the world and introduce them to your work, because not everyone can access Louise Hay. So Angie King's the next best thing. and a wonderful facilitator, and the beauty host to actually come, you know, to her physical classes. She also runs these classes online as well. So, you know, thank you, Angie, for doing what you do. And, you know, I just want to help spread the word of love, self-love, most particularly. And anything you want to share with us, Angie, before we leave?
I'd like to let everyone know that I have a program coming up. It's the 10-week program. It commences on the 29th of June, and I think we'll post the link just below to the, when we finish, we'll post the link to the event itself. But it goes for 10 weeks. It's online over Zoom, so it's just amazing. Like it, yeah. And like we said, I always keep saying it's amazing. It's just, and it really truly is. Every single person that's ever done this course has had changes in their life, positive changes. They've made amazing decisions. They've, you know, all sorts of things. So today, what I'd like to do is, if anybody does register today for the course, then I'd like to actually give away a copy of Louise's book. This is a pretty one, the one with all the pretty pages and everything. I don't know, can you see it? The pages? Anyway, can you see that? That's Louise's book. So I'd like to give away a copy to anybody at all that registers today, and that would be wonderful. And I would love to see as many as possible to join the program and to make changes. If that resonates with you, then that would be, yeah, wonderful.
Thank you, Angie. And just on that note, I want to read a little excerpt before we go out of her book. And I've actually got her compilation book, which is the Louise Hay collection. That's, you know, got all of her books in there, which is just amazing. But I want to leave this with you. It's one of her little affirmations that she shares throughout the book. So, in the infinity of life where I am, all is perfect, whole and complete. My life is ever new. Each moment of my life is new and fresh and vital. I am a new me. I think differently. I speak differently. I act differently. Others treat me differently. My new world is a reflection of my new thinking. It is a joy and a delight to plant new seeds, for I know that these seeds will become my new experiences. All is well in my world. That's just one of the most beautiful paragraphs, positive affirmations that Louise has shared in her book, and the types of things that you'll learn as well in Angie's course, because it is all about just positive self-talk, and we need to instill new habits into our life. And if that means we've got to go to the mirror and say, I love you just the way I am, which is part of the course, isn't it, Angie? Then that's, you know, it's not pulling teeth. It's not, you know, I'm not saying that the course won't bring tears up and won't bring emotions, but one thing I just want to quickly share before we go, one of the exercises that we had to do in Angie's course was to write a letter to all the people that have hurt us in our past. and, you know, put all the anger and all of our feelings and emotions into that letter. And I said to Angie, well, I'm just not an angry person. I'm not angry. I'm going to find out. Surprised when I sat down and started to write down all the people who I felt let me down in my life or weren't there for me or whatever, and I was really quite angry and I was swearing. It was really brought up all this stuff that I thought wasn't even there. And then we went outside and we actually burnt the letter and we stomped it into the ground, which was really powerful, and it was amazing because it was just really liberating to know that I actually didn't have to send those letters off to those people because I dearly love them. But I'm sure it released a lot of stuff because as you know, if we've got this part of our body stored up with anger or fear or sadness, then it can't fill up with love. So to release that now frees that up to fill up with more love so that you can be of service and help others.
Absolutely.
So I encourage you all to, we'll put the, I think I can add the comments here, and I'm going to say goodbye. We're going to add the link for Angie's course up underneath this video, and to all of you out there who want to create more abundance and success in your life, which she doesn't, please connect with Angi King on Facebook. Her Facebook page is Togetherness Healing.
That's right, Togetherness Healing.
Togetherness Healing, and as I said, we'll share the link below, all about the program so you can have a look at it, what's included in it, and I highly recommend that you make the change and commit to investing in you today. So have a beautiful day, everyone. Thanks, Angie, for joining us.
Thanks, Mel, for inviting me. Talk to you soon.
Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you.
I'll start. Here we go, end live broadcast. And that's what happens when you're learning new technology. It's all good. See you, everyone.